Hey, I'm Ethan.
Hey, I'm Mike.
I watched the first half of Leprechaun.
I watched the second half of Leprechaun.
And this is the other half.
Watch till you can't. Welcome, everyone, to another Watch Till You Can't series. I think 2 years ago was when we did the Hellraiser movies for Watch Till You Can't.
Well, then we did
what else?
I was going to
Rocky?
call it Werewolf movie.
Werewolf movie? Oh,
Werewolf
yeah, the Underworld.
That was the
movies.
other one. That was the other one. Rocky wasn't Watch Till We Can't. We just
watched them all. This one is another. It's in the springtime. It's another series of a lot of horror movies.
A lot of horror movies.
We haven't seen.
And St. Patrick's Day is coming up.
St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be in March. So yeah, we were like, let's do it. Let's watch all of the Leprechaun movies.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them. And what an interesting. Will we make it till the end?
Will we make it till the end?
So, yeah, maybe we should tell everyone the rules. The rules are we both have to agree to stop. If one person says we will continue, it has to be unanimously decided for us to stop watching these Leprechaun movies.
Well, we do it two at a time. So we watch two movies and we take a break.
Yes.
And we decide if we want to do it.
Next episode, we'll make the decision as to whether or not we should continue watching the Leprechaun movies. So, but first, we're going to start off with the main Leprechaun movie with Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston's in this.
In her first big role.
Yeah.
In the Leprechaun.
And the Leprechaun movies.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like every time you go to one of these old horror movies, you know,
it's nice to see like a friendly
old face.
Yeah, that's right. Like
around.
I think like Matthew McConaughey.
What's that? Oh, the Leprechaun's here.
Oh,
you're coming to record a podcast, are you? You're coming to come in here? Maud, Michael, you do not like me when I'm sitting around here. Oh, you want me to leave? Well, you be coming here stealing me gold.
I don't want
you don't want me to be? Oh, Michael is real uncomfortable with me. How you doing, Ethan? Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm not doing too bad. Yeah, I'm hanging out. So I don't have a third microphone. That's okay, Ethan. I can sit here and sit on your...
It's weird that you two can't talk over each other.
Sometimes we can. I mean, sometimes I can. We can all have different voices, you know.
Yeah, that's
anyway,
right.
I'm just going to borrow Ethan's microphone. That's why we can't speak over each other. You know?
Okay, are you going to be the entire episode?
I
here,
mean,
Mr.
I will be quiet most of the time because I just want you to be happy and have a good time watching.
Well, that's very considerate of you.
No,
Mr.
thank you.
You're a very considerate guy.
We've had so many films. You know, I just want to be able to, influence you to watch them more because only two of them made it to the theaters.
Oh, is that true?
Yes.
This one and which one?
Oh, the second one.
Oh, okay.
No more. They said no more, Mr. Leprechaun. But I kept my way out on a DVD, and it was a great time. Oh, I'm sorry, it was VHS at the time.
VHS back in the time.
I'm sorry, I'm dating myself. Anyway, I'm going to go sit in the corner now. Thanks,
okay,
Leprechaun.
goodbye, Mr. Leprechaun. Thanks. Just feel free to pipe in whatever you want.
It kind of smells weird.
Yeah,
it kind of smells like Bailey's and cigars.
Still in the room. We can hear you talking about how
I'm doing this my cologne here, you see. I got it from the old Spencer's.
It's Old Spice.
You heard of the Spencer's?
Spencer's Gifts?
That's a good name.
You get your cologne at Spencer's.
Oh, yes. It's a great one. Lots of good times. I love the colors. You seen the colors in there?
Yeah, I think you like a little bit more than that. You like the back area where there's titties and shit.
Hey, I do like me ladies. But I'm going to go.
All right, goodbye. Later, Mr. Leprechaun.
Don't keep talking about him.
I won't. I will not bring him up ever again. I promise you.
Oh, yeah? You don't? Well, he likes to interject.
I'm aware of that
He
now.
loves to interject. He loves to come in here.
So tell me a bit about the beginning of this Leprechaun
so the beginning
movie.
of this Leprechaun movie starts with the shit's going down when the Lionsgate logo appears.
Lionsgate?
Lionsgate's distributing
from like
this.
Saw and shit.
Yes, from Saw.
Like Final Destination.
But I'm like, all right, we're fucking in. So we have already seen a Leprechaun movie. We saw Leprechaun in the Hood.
Lep in the Hood.
I don't remember anything about it. I wanted to re-listen to the podcast. I'll probably listen to it.
Maybe we will. Maybe we won't.
Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. I don't remember much about it, but I remember he rhymed all the time. Like he was just rhyming all over the place. So I was very excited to get into this and see him rhyming all the time. And he starts off in like a weird little dungeon that's clearly like a set. They don't have anything else.
Not
but
a real
staircase.
dungeon.
I know they couldn't get a dungeon.
Yeah.
And he says, "Try as they might, try as they will. Fuck, I fucked it up. Oh, don't kill me, Mr. Leprechaun."
Oh no, it's the Fighting Irish.
Try as they will, and try as they might. Who steals me gold won't live through the night.
Ooh, he's already started out rhyming.
He's already started out rhyming. I'm like, this is so sick. I'm so excited to have a fucking.
Ethan's a big fan of rhyming.
I love rhyming, dude. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, Mother Goose. Woo! Queen.
Queen Goose.
Queen Goose.
Yeah.
Love those nursery rhymes. Let me tell you.
Yeah. So already off to a great start.
Already off to a great start.
Yeah.
Cuts to the movie has huge 90s energy.
Like what? Like Jennifer Aniston's in
No,
it?
not even that yet. Just the fact that this dude starts off with the movie, this dude driving up in a limo, and he comes out and the suit is massive. I'm like, massive suits have
Oh,
not been
God,
since the
yeah.
90s.
Like zoot suits.
Yeah, and of course it's an Irish guy. He's drinking some Jameson.
Oh, of
you
course. The Irish, they love
Of course,
to
they
drink.
love drinking the Jameson.
Yeah, only the Jameson.
He comes out the back, and this lady goes, "Oh, Mr. O'Grady.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what are you doing in a limousine?" And I guess it's his wife, but I don't know why she calls
Why did
him
he call him
that. I
Mr.
don't know,
O'Grady?
it's
You know
weird.
why she called him Mr. O'Grady? Is because all of the rest of the characters are going to refer to him as Mr. O'Grady.
That's probably
So we
it.
need to know what his name
That's
is.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. Also because
Doesn't make a lot of sense. But
yeah, also because their marriage is strained.
Yeah, exactly.
So he is like, "Don't worry, look, we can afford all this." He's like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "You were supposed to bury your mom." He's like, "Well, I had something shipped over here, and it's a big urn." And she's like, You were supposed to bury her ashes over in Ireland. You weren't supposed to like bring it over here."
Right.
And he's like, "Well, you know, it's not full of me mom's ashes." And he breaks it open, and it's a bunch of gold.
Oh, shit.
She's like, "Where'd you get all this gold?" He's like, "Let go. You know what I did? I found a leprechaun, and I fucking captured him."
Okay.
And I told him to tell me where all the gold is. And
Wow.
and she's like, "Oh, that's nonsense." Like, what the fuck, dude?
When did this happen?
How else do you get these gold then?
Yeah, right?
You think just a bunch of weird gold with weird symbols on it? And she's just like,
Maybe he
"Well,
bought
I
it
don't
on the
know."
dark web.
On the dark web?
Yeah. This is
In
what they're
94,
referring to
they
as
were
cryptocurrency.
all the web was the dark web.
Yeah,
back then.
exactly.
She's like,
O'Grady's really into that shit.
You're such a good storyteller,
Mm-hmm.
she says. Anyway, she's like, we'll brighten you up if I just get a bit of tea, because obviously he's wasted.
Oh, yeah, of course, because he's Irish. Wait, he's driving too?
No, he was in the back of the limo.
Oh, right.
So he wasn't
right.
driving. So she's making tea, and then she hears the singing of Mary Had a Little Lamb from a suitcase, and she goes into the suitcase.
And it's a leprechaun.
Well, no, it's a little girl's voice. How could it be the leprechaun?
Oh, I didn't know it was a little girl's voice.
Well, it's a little girl's voice.
Oh, okay.
And she says, "Please open the suitcase. I'm going to suffocate." So she says, and she opens it up, and out pops little Warwick Davis in his leprechaun outfit.
Yep.
Looking great, having a good time. Immediately just pushes her down the stairs, which I didn't know there were stairs in this house.
Yeah,
But I guess
yeah.
there's a basement. And I was like, where the hell did they come from? And he's just dancing. He's like, oh, I guess I accidentally pushed you, I guess. Whoops. Oh, well.
Oh, well,
Oh,
it doesn't matter.
looks
So
like
we
you're
didn't
dead now.
mean to hurt her.
It made it seem like he didn't, but also I think he was being cheeky.
He's mischievous. He's
Oh,
a
I
cheeky
did mean
guy.
to hurt her, actually. Thank you for that.
Oh, okay, good.
clarification.
So wait, you are the leprechaun from the movie?
Of course he's a leprechaun. From
Oh,
the movies.
okay. What? There's more than one leprechaun?
Do you see any more leprechauns in your daily life?
I don't. I mean, I never saw a leprechaun at all. You know.
You
so
saw
wait,
one in this movie.
So is that Warwick Davis we're talking to?
No, it's the leprechaun.
Oh, okay. But the Warwick Davis is in the movie playing a leprechaun.
Don't think too much about this,
Okay,
Mike.
got it.
Come on.
Okay.
Oh my God. Where's the magic in you?
I know. Sorry, Mr. Leprechaun.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you should be, but that's okay.
What is the leprechaun's name? Is it just the leprechaun?
My name is Leprechaun.
Oh, okay.
It's simple. I'm a leprechaun.
Okay.
I don't have a name.
Good to know.
Maybe I will in the later movies. We'll have to find out. Watch
We'll
Tony
find out
Cunt.
soon. Yeah.
Watch Tony Cunt's the name of the game. If you don't want to play it, you're quite lame. Oh, there he goes.
Oh my God,
I
he rhymed.
can't believe it. We got one on our fucking podcast. Dude, we're gonna make it now.
I'm gonna get that fucking pot of gold.
No,
By the end of it all.
Mike, this is our pot of gold. We don't need to get the pot of gold. You saw what happened in these movies.
So wait, where is this taking place?
This is taking place in just some random area. We don't know. It's just some
Not
random,
Ireland?
It's not in Ireland, clearly
Okay.
because they ship the ashes.
Right, from
so
Ireland.
it seems to be. I learned later it's in South Dakota.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. What's this? Okay. Why am I asking what this guy's doing in South Dakota? He's just there.
He lives there.
Yeah, with his wife.
It was his life. So then let's see.
So she gets pushed down the stairs.
Yeah,
The
so
leprechaun-
The husband comes back and is like, "Hey, what the fuck? There's a leprechaun here." And but first he doesn't see her or him. He hears her voice.
Oh, the wife's
He
voice.
stole his wife's voice and saying,
Right, the
"Where's-
leprechaun can do that."
Where's the gold? And he's like, "I'm gonna get my gun and a 4-leaf clover." I'm like, this guy is set. He's got the whole
He
system
knows
ready to
what
go.
he's doing. Yeah.
So he starts shooting at the leprechaun. He misses. Then he goes to like the basement, and the leprechaun like picks up the dead wife and starts like mimicking her voice. Like, "I'm fine. Why did you do all this? I'm be okay. It's okay." And
Does he cry? I'd cry.
he gets a little sad. He gets a little sad. He's upset. He's like, "You monster!" He starts shooting at him. He's like, your bullets won't stop me forever. I'll keep coming back. But I guess he like fell over. So he like grabs the wife, does a little miming thing, gets shot at, hides behind this crate after getting shot at, and just kind of falls over. So like the guy just goes over, picks him up, and puts him in the crate.
Nice. Yeah, the Leprechaun's not that coordinated.
Yeah, it was very weird. I was just like, oh, okay, you're not that powerful then.
No.
And so, but the thing is, he also has a clover, and the Leprechaun does not like the clover. He's like, put that away. It's like basically a crucifix for a vampire.
That's right. It's his weakness.
So he gets put in the thing. Gets a no, it's like a crate.
Oh, it's a crate.
And he says like, I curse you for all eternity. I traded my soul for me gold, and you'll trade your life. And he tries to like light. He pours a bunch of oil over the crate to burn the Leprechaun, but then he has a fucking heart attack because the Leprechaun gives him a heart attack, and he drops the flame on the ground, and he just dies there. But yeah,
so he dies.
Yeah, he keeps wanting to ask for his gold, but you know this dude will not give it. Yeah, so
right. Where is the gold? We don't know where it is.
He doesn't know. He just hit it. We don't know where it is. Leprechaun doesn't know where it is. Anything.
Okay.
So
he's looking for his Lucky Charm.
Yeah. So basically, he dies. The Leprechaun's stuck in the crate. Can't get out because there's a 4-leaf clover on top of the crate, so he can't do anything. So he just sits there.
Okay.
And then
the movie ends.
The movie ends, and that's
a pretty good movie.
Pretty quick.
I like it.
So then a song that they love using called "I Need a 4-Leaf Clover" keeps playing. No idea what the song is. I feel like it was written for the movie.
For the movie, definitely. Yeah.
But it's 10 years later, and we
10 whole years.
10 years.
Oh, okay.
There's a new people moving into this place. It's
the old O'Grady place.
It's Jennifer Aniston and her dad, and it's great because it's this aerial shot.
Who's her dad?
What?
Her dad?
Her dad is the guy with the gray beard.
Oh, I never see the guy with the gray beard.
What happened? Okay, to be honest, he keeps disappearing in the movie, and I'm like,
I never see a guy with
really?
a gray beard.
All right,
yeah.
we'll find out more. We'll dive more into that.
We'll put this together.
So the dad's here, and maybe I forgot he died and just wrote in my notes. We'll find out. But it's this great ADR line of her just being like, "Dad, I hate it here. I want to. Where are we? Are we in New Mexico?" And she's like, and he's like, "No, we're in
Dakota,
South Dakota."
Yeah.
He's like, "Whatever, it's not LA. I hate it here." And she just
I like you're making her sound like she's like an 8-year-old girl.
Well,
like,
see, I'm doing my spoiled brat impersonation because
okay.
that's basically what she plays in this movie.
I see.
She's just
Okay.
like, I'm
from LA.
I'm from LA.
I'm a Valley girl.
That's basically it. That's her whole character.
Got it. Okay.
And I gotta hang out with my hick dad as he's trying to fix up this place.
Old place. The old O'Grady place.
This old O'Grady place.
So how did he hear about this place?
I have no idea how he heard about it. He just said he got a great deal on it.
All right.
And so he's like showing it off. He's like, "This is it." She's like, "I'm gonna be miserable here. I hate this." All these lines feel like they're ADR'd in.
Yeah.
Like none of them are acted. Like this to the back of the character, and they just have the lines being read. They're like,
maybe she was like, she wasn't originally supposed to be playing this character, and then they're like, we need to make her like more unlikable.
No, because she still has those lines, but I feel like they do it even more to like hammer it in.
see.
Like the audience is too stupid. They like
They're
had
watching a Leprechaun
They had,
movie.
I know.
Yeah.
They had test screenings, and they're like, "Oh man, the standard audience of people who are interested in the Leprechaun movie,
Yeah.
apparently not very smart." So we have to really hammer home that she does not want to be here.
Yeah.
So she goes in there, and there's like goes to the basement. And there's like a big fucking spider in there.
Ew. She hates
it's
spiders.
horrible. That's like the dad though is like, "You could stay here in the creepiest fucking part of the house."
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Come on.
Anyway, and she's like, "I'm out of here. I'm gonna go stay at a hotel and do all that."
Mm-hmm.
But then while she's walking outside, she runs into a guy,
Nathan,
and
he's
spills,
a hottie.
It spills paint thinner all over. And I was like, man, this is the most 90s ass. Like, this is,
like meet cute.
yeah, meet cute. And she's like,
and she wants Nathan's dog.
Boo.
The whole time they kept calling him Nathan. I'm like the hot dog?
Well, you don't think of Nathan as a normal name?
Well, yeah, I guess it is a normal name, but
Nathan Lane? You're like, that guy's a fucking hot dog
that
guy.
guy's got a big old dog.
All right.
He just looks like a hot dog. I don't know.
He does have hot dog vibes.
He's
like
got
that dude, if he came up and was like, my favorite food is chili dogs, I'd be like, sure,
He
yeah.
sweats hot dog water. That's what this man does. Yeah,
he does.
Yeah.
But she's like, here, have $20, and doesn't apologize because he bumped into
Oh,
her.
right, because of the paint thinner.
The paint filler. And he's like, whoa, but like, shouldn't you say so? Like, I don't want you $20. I just need to be told like sorry.
Sounds like a native Dakotan.
Yeah. He's like,
how's it going?
Also, girls are always scared of houses. It's like, this is the 90s. Women are treated equal now. And I'm like,
90s,
eh? 90s, huh?
You seem
sure?
like a very well-rounded character.
Yeah.
90s have really done well for women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not scared of this house at all. I'm going to stay here, actually, even though I said I was going to go to a hotel earlier.
Yeah.
And her dad literally pops out and is like, here's your bags. You're going to go to the hotel. She's like, actually, I'm staying here for sure. And he's like, really? Because I thought you were going to leave and I was just going to let you because, like, why fight?
Who cares? Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, no, I'm going to stay here. And Nathan's like, oh, cool, bro. She's a cool girl, I guess.
I'm also from California.
He feels like he
Yeah,
is,
he
right?
does,
Like,
yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
No one here feels like they're from South
I
Dakota.
think the movie's supposed to take place in South Dakota, but I feel like this is just like...
It's like shot in the desert.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what the hell's going on? It feels like the high desert.
Yeah, it doesn't... I don't know where they... I'm going to look up where they shot this movie.
Yeah, look at where they shot this movie
Yeah.
because I did not.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then apparently, so Nathan's not the only one working on the house. There's two other people. There is.
Oh, boy, is there.
Oh boy, there sure is. There's a little kid. I don't know his name.
Alex.
I never got Alex.
His name's
Okay.
Alex.
And I want to say the other guy's name is it's Ozzy.
It's Ozzy.
I was gonna say Gizmo. Because it feels like the right vibe.
It feels
for
like
him.
a gizmo. Yeah,
feels like a
he's
gizmo.
giving gizmo.
He's giving Gizmo.
He's giving
He's
gizmo.
serving it for sure.
Yeah. What is wrong with Ozzy? Can you tell me? Something's wrong with him.
We'll get into Ozzy a little bit.
Okay, that's good to know.
Something's wrong with him. I think he's just a little slow.
Yeah,
Just a
but
little
they really like to hammer in how slow he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just, the 90s.
Did you recognize him?
Women are equal. He did look familiar, but I didn't recognize him.
He's from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He's the guy that goes, I know what you are, but what am I? He's the dude that like steals the bike at the very beginning of the movie.
Yes, you're right. He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Ozzy's like talking about UFOs and shit. Like he's just always going on about weird stuff. And
Right.
The kid's like mean to him and just like starts shooting him with a slingshot in the face.
I like how these two are friends, kind of.
You know what's really weird about this movie, and I never thought I'd say it. I really like the kid's acting in this.
He's pretty good.
He's
yeah.
pretty good.
He's
in
having
this.
a good time.
He's having a fun time on this. Like this
Yeah.
kid is not annoying. He's having a good time.
Do you want me to tell you where this was filmed?
Please.
Can you guess?
I'm gonna say, let's say Modesto, California.
Pretty close. Santa Clarita.
All right, sure. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, Santa Clarita, California,
That-
and thereabouts and around there. So yeah, not at all South Dakota.
Not
of
at
course.
all. I don't know how you can even pull that off.
Yeah.
Like, what are you thinking?
What are you talking about?
I guess that's why they have to say it out loud.
Yeah,
'Cause
we're
to-
in South
to be fair,
Dakota.
now I feel like Jennifer Aniston's character being like, "Oh, New Mexico." It's like, yeah, it looks like New Mexico.
yeah,
To
yeah,
be
yeah.
fair.
Obviously, it's
Obviously.
a desert. Yeah.
I almost wonder if they changed that because I'm thinking that was an 80-yard line.
Oh, maybe
So
it
you think
wasn't
maybe they
supposed
just
to be.
tried to change it. I don't know why they would do that. Though.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So yeah. So let's see. The girl's like, "Hey, can I help you guys out with any of this painting?" And the kid's like, "Oh no." The dad says this, and he's like, "No, we can't do it because of the insurance." Says the kid. It's funny because he's a kid.
Yeah,
He's
he
talking
doesn't
about
know any
insurance and
better.
stuff.
Yeah.
He's so adult. Jennifer Aniston goes into the basement to kind of like make good for Nathan, who's down there.
Mm-hmm.
But the leprechaun, you see him in the crate. He's just sleeping there.
So wait, who sees the leprechaun?
No one sees. We see as the audience. See the
Oh,
leprechaun.
okay.
He's in the crate. This whole place is dusty, covered in dust and cobwebs and all
Oh,
that
and
stuff.
he's the only thing keeping him in there.
It's the little four-leaf
Is
clover.
a little four-leaf clover.
That's very dead now. Very, very
Yeah,
dead.
it's crinkled, yeah.
It's a shape.
yeah,
doesn't have to be alive, I
Still
guess.
the shape of a clover. Yeah.
So that means you could probably just like print out a four-leaf clover, and he'd be like, "Ah,
yeah, with those
Actually,
90 printers.
how's he survive in like St. Patrick's Day? And there's four-leaf clovers all over the place."
I think it has to be a real
You
four-leaf
think
clover.
so? I don't
Yeah,
think anyone picks four-leaf clovers for St. Patrick's Day. I feel like people.
I did back in the day.
Yeah, I did back in the day, but I guess they're
You,
not.
you
that
actually
prevalent.
found them.
Huh?
You actually found them too.
I think I found a couple.
Yeah.
They're rare, but
They are.
happen.
Well, they're rare-ish, right?
They're rare-ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're no shiny Pokemon, but she gets scared by Nathan, who's there, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, there's a bunch of weird stuff in here. Dan O'Grady, he collected a lot of weird stuff. But are you not scared of any of it, right? Let's just open up this box, bro. This box right here, and it's the box of Leprechaun.
Of
in it.
course.
Let's just open it up. It'd be cool." But then they hear a scream and they get distracted. So they don't end up opening the box. But it's Ozzy. He's freaking out. He spilled all his paint on himself. He blew himself. He's all blue.
Oh yeah. Wait, all
Um,
this is taking place in one day?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so.
What a day this is.
What a day.
I only say that because in my half of the movie, Ozzy's still covered in fucking blue
Oh,
paint.
really? That's so
Yeah.
funny. So the kid, so Ozzy's like embarrassed. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to wash myself up." So he goes downstairs into the basement and he hears a kid singing, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, please let me out."
Mm-hmm.
And so Ozzy like goes to the crate removes the 4-leaf
No,
clover.
Ozzy.
And the leprechaun just busts out. And Ozzy's like, what the fuck? He's like,
somebody stop me.
yeah. He's like, oh, I'm just going to eat a bug here.
Yeah.
And he eats a bug. And he's all weird. And he calls, first uncool thing, leprechaun, listen to this.
Oh, no. Are we canceling the leprechaun? This is why we brought him onto the podcast.
You called him Tubby. You said, Tubby, where's me gold?
Okay. You don't fat shame people, leprechaun.
It's a different time, It's a different time. It's different
the
then.
90s. Women had rights.
Women had rights, but, Tubby people didn't. Anyway, I'm going to go back to my corner.
Fat women.
Only if they're hotties.
Oh, leprechaun. You haven't changed at all.
Oh, my goodness. I can't
So
believe
first
it.
bad thing is he fat shames Ozzy.
First bad thing.
Yeah.
And then he hurts him.
Definitely not pushing a woman down the stairs. She was old and gross.
Yeah.
She's not real people.
She's not real people. This innocent lady who had nothing to do with stealing gold.
But calling a fat guy Tubby, not nice, Mr. Leprechaun.
And he's like, he announces, I'm a leprechaun. Tell me if you've seen any gold lying around. And Ozzy tries to run, but the leprechaun uses his telekinetic powers to close the door. But Ozzy just opens it because the leprechaun's like, I'm weak. I'm tired. I just woke up.
Right.
I can't close this door and keep him locked in here. So Ozzy
So that's
off.
something he'd usually be able to do.
I guess that's what it's implied.
Right.
So Nathan doesn't quite believe Ozzy when he says there's a bunch of leprechauns.
I mean, would you?
No, because he's been talking about like, I think UFOs are real and stuff like that.
Right.
And there's a little kid, and they're like, okay, he's in the basement. Let's go look. So Nathan, Jennifer Aniston, everyone else goes down the basement.
I'm so glad we're referring to her as Jennifer Aniston.
I don't know
her name either. I think it's like Tori or something, but it's Jennifer Aniston. Yeah.
So they go down there, and Ozzy's scared. He's like, just gotta kill every one of us, and I'm the first one. And they can't find him. And there's factors in noise. It's just a little rat that makes a noise.
Right.
And then they're like, okay, there's nothing here. So they leave, and then suddenly a rainbow appears. And Ozzy's like, there's a fucking sign. Look. And they're like, I want to go find it. He just runs off. The kid's like, I'll go find him. So him and the kid run off to go find the end of the rainbow.
I wonder how these two know each other, Alex and Ozzy.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, they're him and Nathan, because they're all.
I guess all three of them.
Because it has a sign. They work for a thing that says, I think their company's
Three
called
Men That Paint or
Three
something
Guys
like
That Paint.
Yeah.
Which is like classic, like small town name of a company,
Yeah.
So yeah. By the way, this rainbow appears in like the most cheesy fashion ever. So it's just like, obviously it's not a real rainbow. It's not a cloud in the sky. There's no rain.
It's not a real rainbow.
Well, like
it's a matte painting.
No. I'm saying like.
Oh, like in the
universe,
movie. Okay,
it doesn't make sense for a rainbow to appear now.
Got it. Okay, got it.
So anyway, they find a car, and the rainbow ends where the car is, and they look at it, and they find Ozzy finds one piece of gold. And like, oh, that's crazy.
And what does he do?
We should give it back. And he doesn't do anything yet.
Oh, okay.
And then he's like, but this proves there's a leprechaun. He's like, no. And then a huge bag of gold he finds in the back. And he's like, come on, this proves there's a leprechaun. Because like, stop fucking talking about a leprechaun. Like, how do we know this gold is real?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I know. I could bite it. And so he bites it, and he accidentally swallows it because he's so goofy. And I'm just like,
hate it.
And you're like,
it's a fat joke.
No, I didn't even think it was a fat
joke.
Just
like
he ate it. I think it was more of a dumb joke.
Oh, maybe it's a dumb joke
because
too.
He's
yeah,
just dumb.
He's dumb. There's something wrong with his brain.
Something wrong with his brain.
Yeah.
So I think he ate it, and I feel like this is just, you could see where this is going. You know exactly where it's going because that leprechaun's got to get the gold.
In my half of the movie, when it's revealed that Ozzy ate the gold, I like let out an audible sign like, "There's no way he ate a gold piece." He did. He really did.
He had to try. No, he didn't think it was chocolate or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
that makes it even worse. Like that he didn't think it was
chocolate.
chocolate.
There was like no excuse. So they're gonna go take it to the town at some point to go see if it's real. But in the meantime, they're gonna go bury the rest by the well by the house they're working on.
Got it.
And this is kind of a sad moment because they're walking.
Sad moment.
And he's like, "We have so much money. We can't tell the adults. We can't tell anyone else about this, Ozzy." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm so excited. I buy comic books every week." And he's like, "Yeah, and we can like." Fix your brain.
Yeah.
We can
the kid says that later in the movie.
He's like, we
too.
could go to the hospital and get an operation to fix your brain. He's like, but I'm not dumb. He's like, yeah, I mean, you're not the fastest. He's like, people make fun of you. He's like, I've never heard people make fun of me. He's like, they do behind your back.
Oh.
I'm just like, dude.
Damn, that's sad.
I know. I'm kind of like wondering where this movie goes with him being kind of slow.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know. It kind of like is like, hey, there's nothing really wrong with him, but this kid thinks there is, and he's just kind of like,
but he doesn't think there's anything wrong with him.
He's just living his life.
That's the sort of weird thing about this movie is like it obviously like the Leprechaun's a bad guy, right? Leprechaun fat shames him, but like doesn't feel like the movie's fat shaming him.
No,
right?
He just calls him Tubby.
Yeah,
exactly. It's not like he's just like, man, you should watch what you're eating or something like that.
But like in the movie, doesn't feel like it obviously because the villain is doing it. The movie's like it's bad to call him Tubby like that.
Yeah,
That's mean. I don't know. It's like it's weird how the movie actually, and like later on, there's some other things that happen where it's like the movie's actually weirdly like cool about like like women as well. Like the way Jennifer Aniston character ends up panning out the rest of the movie, it's like kind of cool, like what they do with her.
Interesting.
Better than like most fucking like violent horror movies do. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
I'll get into it.
It's a weird series.
Interesting series so far.
Series.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Jennifer Aniston's at the car and someone's grabbing her leg. It's the Leprechaun. He's touching her leg, and she thinks it's Nathan, but Nathan's on the other side, and she sees him. And she's like, oh, "Wait, who's touched my leg?" And she screams, and the fucking Leprechaun scratches her, and both the dad and Nathan come and are like, "Oh my God, what's wrong? Are you okay?" He's like, "Oh, it must have been something possum or something." He's like, "You should like." I thought it was just like, no, it's definitely a man touching my leg. I know what it's like for a man to caress my leg. And the dad's like, really? That was a cute little joke. But they're like, okay, we got to go find that animal because it might have rabies. So they go and they find a hole in the whatchamacallit? A hole in the tree.
The house? Oh, the tree.
Hole in the tree, and they think a cat's in there. Oh, now I know why the dad's not in the movie anymore. Okay. So he sticks his hand in there.
Either joking. Oh yeah, I probably forgot he died.
Well, he doesn't die.
Oh,
he doesn't die.
Okay,
but something happens.
Okay,
so he gets his hand on there, and he's like, "Oh, get this fucking cat out of here!" And you just hear crunch and and you see this shitty shot of the Leprechaun like in the hole going like hee. and he bit his hand, of course, really deep. So he's like, "Oh God, I gotta go to the hospital." So then all 5 of them appear and they get in the shitty car. The car, I don't know if this comes into play. It's bad at starting. It's a shitty car.
Yes.
So like the kid has to come fix it.
Yes.
So they get it.
The kid can fix the car.
The kid can fix the car.
The kid can fix the car.
So they leave, and the funniest part is they leave and they drive off, and then the Leprechaun's like, "Ooh!" and he goes into the barn and pulls out a little tricycle and goes, "Hee!"
I love how much fun this Leprechaun is having.
It's a wild choice to put a movie with like the main like monster in such broad daylight.
Yeah.
He's just running around, but also he's just having a good fucking time.
It reminds me a lot of Child's Play, where it's just like, I mean, obviously they're both tiny, but also it's like just how much fun this Leprechaun is having. Like the Leprechaun is obviously trying to get its gold back, and it's willing to do anything, like any means necessary, even like hurting people. But like more often than not, he's just like toying with people. Like he's just like fucking around,
You don't see horror movies like this anymore, where it's just a little guy that just runs around. It's just weird.
It feels like a gremlin. It feels like a little gremlin.
Feels like a little gremlin guy.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It's very funny. Yeah, I mean, he's a bad guy, but it makes it fun to watch because he's having such a good time.
It's like Chucky, right? Like
it's like Chucky.
He's a bad person. He's an awful human being.
But he's a great doll.
Great doll.
Yeah.
A good guy doll, actually.
Yeah.
So the kid and Ozzy go to a coin collector while they all go to the hospital. They drop the dad off at the hospital while they're doing all that. They're like, go get a bite to eat at the cafeteria. They sneak off to a coin collector. And the coin collector's like, holy shit, like this is crazy. Seems like you got something here. It's like probably worth like $500 on its own. But also like maybe there's more because like, historical value. So can I keep it overnight? And they're like, yeah, you're not going to like steal it or anything.
I don't trust this fucking
He's
guy.
like, no, I'm going to put it in my safe. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, all right. So he's
and then we realize it's actually the guy from Uncut Gems, and he sells it to somebody else.
Oh, I'm gonna come on this coin.
Fucking Leprechaun looked at that shit.
Oh, I'm gonna put all my money, all my coins on this one basketball game. All right, I'm gonna do it.
This is how I win.
This is how I win. Oh God, if Adam Sandler played the Leprechaun on a reboot,
oh my God,
woo.
What a time to be alive.
If that existed, that's not gonna happen. Like,
yeah, no, that'll never happen. That'll never happen.
But he's reading books on his old coins, trying to look him up. But the Leprechaun's stalking him. He kind of gets the little tricycle and it goes to him. He's like, "What the fuck?" All right, well. And then he says out loud behind the backs, this is the 80-yard in, "I gotta put this coin away."
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, he's obviously going to the safe to put the coin away.
Yeah.
So he goes to the safe. And I'm just like, this movie does not trust its audience to understand anything. And he opens up the safe, and the Leprechaun pops out of the safe and bites his leg. And he goes,
"How do you get in the safe?"
I don't fucking know.
Magic, I guess.
Magic, right?
Yeah.
The rules of Leprechaun are nonsense. They're just like whatever's funny, the Leprechaun can do it, but whenever he can't do it, it's for plot.
Yes, exactly.
So he gets bit on the leg, and he's like, "Whoa, me gold! I'm glad I got it. Hee hee hee. Well, you've been a bad man to steal a leprechaun's gold. I'm gonna grab me a pogo stick." And he gets a pogo stick and starts jumping on it, and he's just like, "I'm gonna jump on your lung," and he jumps on his lung and like collapses his lung on him, and he dies.
I love this fucking guy.
And he's like, "Oh, your shoes are dirty. I can't have that. I'm a tailor, a cobbler, or whatever."
He's a shoemaker.
So he shines his shoes with all the blood off, and he takes a toy car that he just has.
Yeah.
I don't know why this coin guy has a toy car, but whatever.
Yeah.
So Jennifer Aniston
killed by pogo stick. What an awful,
undignified
way to die. Yeah.
And Nathan are at a diner. They're waiting for Ozzy and the kid. Like, where is that guy?
The diner, eh?
But she's upset because she wants a watercress salad and an Evian water, but they don't have that here, so she just doesn't eat anything.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get back to them in a second.
Okay.
So at first we see the cop in a car eating a donut, and he sees Leprechaun driving by in his little weird ass car with all his weird stuff in it.
Right.
He pulls him over and he's like, "Aren't you a little short to be driving? Take off that mask." He's like, "Oh, don't make fun of a leprechaun's face." Step out of the car. It's not nice to make fun of you, eh? And the leprechaun grabs his face and like crushes it and steals his gun.
Damn.
He doesn't crush it, but imprints on it. And so
Leprechaun said ACAB.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
And so the cop's running through the forest. He hides. He tries to make a run for it. He has no gun. He finally finds like the leprechaun's hat on the ground. He stands there, gets taunted by Leprechaun a bunch of times. Eventually, Leprechaun just runs off into the forest. He's like, "Okay, I'm good." He walks away, hides behind a tree. Then Leprechaun drops down on him and snaps his neck.
There you go.
And I'm like, why is this scene in this movie?
Because it's cool.
I guess it's cool.
It's cool to see a leprechaun kill a guy. Yeah, I mean, I guess he already killed the guy with a pogo stick and a woman.
But now you see him kill cop, bro.
Cop. Yeah, that's right.
It shows he's above the law.
That's right. He's not afraid of the law.
So then,
I guess there was kind of a plot reason later on, which we'll get into.
Okay. So then, Nathan and Jennifer Aniston are sitting there eating, or actually, she's not eating, and he says, "You look skinny. You should have some meatloaf." She's like, "Ew, no, it's you know what that is?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's gonna be like, it's like the worst kind of meat ever." She's like, "It's dead cow." I'm like, "Yeah,
obviously,
obviously it is."
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't."
Well, she's from California. She's
like,
a
"I don't
vegetarian,
do that.
probably.
I don't like hurting animals. I'm a vegetarian." And then he grabs her shoe and is just like, "Look at this. This is dead cow, and you wear this." She's like, "Shut up, dude." I'm just like, those are two different things. Leather lasts a lot longer than eating meat, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Ozzy and the kid appear, and that's the end of my half.
That's right. So I'm like, who are all these people? I just said a young couple and an old dude and a child.
An old dude? He's not even that old.
He's older than everyone else.
I guess so.
I think he is.
I guess so.
Then we see Lep. I keep calling him Lep. Leprechaun. He's looking. Lep.
Oh, you use my full name, won't you?
So you agree that Lep is the nickname?
I
then
think that is a very disrespectful name, my boy.
It's more you didn't pop in at all when Ethan was talking.
I did pop in at all when Ethan was talking. You didn't remember that, did you?
Okay,
you don't even remember my name. How could you remember the next time I show up? Thank you, sir.
I apologize.
I'm now heading out.
Okay, thank you. But
I'm using
free to pop in.
I'm using my stern voice with you, boy.
I noticed. I'm
my
sorry.
Boy.
All right. Don't cancel me.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Leprechaun.
I'm sorry. I was trying to push him away. But
it's fine. I understand. I appreciate it. Okay. The Leprechaun is walking around looking for gold. And he finds a Lucky Charms box, and he goes, "Ha!" And he eats some of it, then he spits it out. He's like, "Terrible."
They use the actual brand Leprechaun.
Yeah, it's a Leprechaun. Yeah.
How they get away with using Lucky Charms?
That's where most of the budget went. Yeah.
Can we talk shit about your Lucky Charms?
Yeah.
Food?
Well, also it's like our villain hates it, so it's like kids are gonna love it.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they do this funny thing. I don't know if it happens in your half, but they do like a lot of like transitions where they literally like spin the film. Like it feels like a Gilligan's Island episode or some shit. It's amazing.
How's that 90s feel?
It does. And he's walking around looking for gold, and then he finds a bunch of shoes, a bunch of dirty shoes, and he starts cleaning them. He starts shining them. And then the group of four return home, and they see that the house is a mess, except for all the shoes. The shoes are all clean, but everything else is a mess because the leprechaun's been looking for stuff. And they're like, "It must be a bear." And then Ozzy goes, I don't know. Because their first instinct would be like, "Oh, leprechaun broke in and started looking for gold," But then Ozzy is the first to say, "I bet it's the leprechaun. I bet it was him. I saw him, and I bet he's looking for his gold." And he's like, he used to be a shoemaker. That explains why the shoes are so clean. It was like, Ozzy, shut the fuck up. Like, no, it's not a leprechaun.
I thought he got all this lore dump on him.
I know. It helped me.
Yeah.
It was funny, though, because this is not only a great lore dump as to, like, who the leprechaun is, but it's also great because it's like, oh, nobody else knows a leprechaun exists. Like, this is a good like knowledge base. Like, the leprechaun has not really made himself known to the rest of the gang. So then after cleaning up the kitchen, they start hearing like a little bell. But it's just like a I don't know why they think it's like a leprechaun bell, but it ends up just being like a bike bell that like Ozzy has, and he's playing with it.
I love that leprechaun. They think that leprechauns have bells for some reason.
I don't even know. They're like, it's a bell. It's a bell. It's the sound of a bell. It's so creepy, and it's not even a thing. Ozzy talks to Alex, asking him if he can kill a leprechaun, and Alex says, yeah, you can kill anything. It's easy to kill anything. And I'm like, that's a child.
Alex is like, I've killed before.
I've killed many before. It's like, it's easy. It's like killing a dog or whatever. And it's like, whoa, can you kill a dog? Yeah, a lot of lore dumb about who this kid is as well. And then they hear another bell, and it's not the same bell that Ozzy had. So Nathan goes to investigate the bell, and it's coming from outside. So he goes outside, and he's like looking around. And then for the life of me, I don't know how this happened, but he tripped over something. I don't know what he tripped over. He trips over something, and then he lands in a bear trap. His foot lands in a bear trap. And then the leprechaun pops out, and he starts laughing. He's like, I tricked you. And I'm like, you didn't trick him. He's just clumsy. Like, he didn't do anything. He just let the bear trap out, and he accidentally stood on it.
Leaving a bear trap out.
That's a trick. That's a trick, I guess.
If I did that to you in your front yard and you got trapped in it, I think
you'd be jumping
you.
around laughing and dancing.
I'd
be like, help me, please.
And I'll be like, no, I tricked you.
I tricked you. So everyone shows up. This is so funny because then it's like, I'm like, oh, the leprechaun's going to like, kill like Nathan, and then he's going to wait for other people to show up. So like there's like an air of mystery as to like who's killing. No, everyone just runs out and sees this fucking leprechaun in broad daylight. And it's just like, oh, okay, so it's not going to be a mystery anymore.
The jig is up.
The jig is up. We now know a leprechaun exists.
And then the leprechaun did a jig.
Exactly. The jig is up, and the jig is bouncing around. He's like, oh, I'm going to get you. Everyone shows up. Alex goes and grabs a fucking shotgun. The child grabs a shotgun.
He's killed before.
He's definitely killed before.
He shoots things for fun.
Ozzy goes in, grabs the phone, and calls the police, but of course they don't believe him because one, he says it's a leprechaun. Yeah, why would they believe?
Ozzy needs to tone it down.
And the other thing is apparently Ozzy's done this kind of shit before, so everyone's like, nobody believes Ozzy basically. So Nathan shoots the leprechaun, and he thinks he killed him, but then he goes to investigate, and the leprechaun has scurried off, and we don't know where he went. Yeah, so the leprechaun is gone and clearly cannot be killed via shotgun. So they go inside the house. Jennifer Aniston tries to call the cops again, but the phone line is now dead. And then they go out and the car won't start. And I was like, oh, the leprechaun did something to the car,
Mm-hmm. Nope, this car just sucks.
This car sucks. And so then Alex goes to the front to try to fix the car, opens up the lid. He opens up the hood. And out pops the leprechaun. He did fuck the car up. And he's got a bunch of like wires in his hands. And I was like, no, they can't get out. The car is broken.
Damn, classic killer.
But I was unaware. There was a second car. The Jeep that her and her dad came in.
That's fair, yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck? Why
didn't they just use that?
Why didn't they use that?
That's a good point.
I don't know
They kept using the shitty car. I guess it could fit more people in it.
It can't fit like everybody in it. But like really all they need, I mean, obviously they all want to escape. But like really they just need to get Nathan to a hospital because he's bleeding out. Like his foot's all fucked up basically. So they're like, oh no. So they just lock the door to make sure that like the leprechaun doesn't get in. And at this part, I'm like, okay, this is pretty fun. This is interesting. It's cool. I like this little leprechaun guy. And no, it's good. Okay. So the leprechaun goes like, oh, okay, I'll be right back. And then he runs into the barn, and you start hearing like cartoon noises inside. No. And then he pops out, and he's driving a little tiny little go-kart with like all these like machinery on it.
Oh, is that like spikes and stuff on it?
Spikes on it. And he drives right into the car, the truck that everyone's in, and he pushes the truck over, and they all fucking fall out.
That's pretty good.
And it's just like, what the fuck was that leprechaun doing at the bar?
That's like his like Mary Poppins bag, but it's a barn.
It's amazing. It feels like a Wile E. Coyote acting situation.
Yes, exactly. He's gonna pull out a portable hole.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So they all and this is so funny too because it's like he's just like fucking with them. Like he's not even trying to really kill them, like because he does want his pot of gold. So like he can't really kill them. He needs to get information out of them, and the only way to do that is to antagonize them. So he just pushes them over. They all fall out of the car and they run into the house, and he chases after them. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get you. And then they close the door on him, but his hand is like on the other side of the door. They close the door on his hand, and his hand falls off on the other side of the door.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a hand, but then the hand, of course, pops back to life, opens the door, and I'm like, oh, he's going to be able to get in the house now, No. The hand just like crawls out of the house and then closes the door behind him. And the leprechaun's like, "Thanks, hand." And he like attaches the hand back on and walks off. I'm like, this motherfucker's not trying to get in the house. He's just trying to like, again, he's just causing mischief.
Just goofing shit.
He's just being a goof. And I'm like, this is a fun little character we got here. You know,
a little guy.
He's a murderer, but you know, he's great. So
he's kind of got a weird code though, in a weird way. You know, he just wants his gold.
He just wants his gold, and if you give it to him, nothing bad's gonna happen.
Pretty much.
So Jennifer Aniston runs in the house, and she's like, "Oh, the phone. We need to call somebody." And everyone's like, "The phone line's dead." And she's like, oh, "My portable phone," which is so funny to hear. Hearing a portable, not a cell phone. You know,
I've got a portable phone.
I've got my portable phone. So she pulls out her portable phone, her giant ass portable phone. She calls the cops, and they actually hear her and listen to her, but then her phone dies, so she can't get updates as to what's going on. Dang. Luckily, the cops did hear the phone call, and they call like a patrol person that's like close to the house to go investigate. But that patrol person is the cop that died earlier, that the leprechaun killed.
So how is he supposed to? They just send him a dispatch and hope he gets there. Like,
so they call him up, and the leprechaun uses the voice,
of course,
to go like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Totally. Don't bring anybody else, over here. I'll take care of it. Don't worry." So yeah, he uses the voice. Alex tells everyone that the gold is in a water bucket. I didn't know this, but apparently the gold is in a little water bucket in the well. Mm-hmm. That's how you can get to it and retrieve it. And he's like, I was gonna use the money to fix Ozzy's brain. And I'm like, what a funny idea. Like, I just thought that was so fucking funny.
It's just so weird, yeah.
So then Jennifer Aniston's like, okay, I'm going to go out. I'm going to get the gold out of the well, and I'm just going to give it to the leprechaun. Like, why not? Like, who cares? Like, who cares about
just make him go away.
Right, exactly. And it's like, this is one of my favorite moments of the movie, because it's like, Nathan's hurt. He can't do anything. Mm-hmm. He can barely, like, stand up. Alex is a child. Yeah. Ozzy's an idiot. So like Jennifer Aniston is like the protagonist of the movie now. She's like a badass. She like grabs a shotgun. She goes out. She like, cranks the bucket out of the
That's good, because
thing.
she was definitely not set up to be this.
It rocks. It feels like Ash from Evil Dead now. Mm-hmm. And so she gets the gold out of the well, and then the leprechaun shows up. And she's like, "Oh, what are you?" And he's like, "I'm a leprechaun, baby." And then she's like, "Here you go. Here's your gold." And he's like, "Oh, thanks." And he takes the gold, and he's like, "I can feel my powers returning." And I'm like, it seemed like you already had plenty of powers already. I don't know what kind of powers you got now, but
Greed
I mean, you're
powers. Greed powers.
Greedy. Yeah, he's greedy.
He's powered off greed.
But I genuinely, because like his hands can like be cut off and then be reattached, like no problem. He can transport. He can
create human life.
Switch voice. Yeah, that's what it is. He's a god now. He's a god now. So yeah. So he says his powers are returning, and then Jennifer Aniston goes back in the house. She's like, I guess it's done. Mm-hmm. I think we're good. So she's like, all right, let's like, I guess I'll leave. Like, we don't know what to do now. I guess we'll just whatever. We'll do whatever. And I'm like, oh, what a weird way to end the movie. The leprechaun just like ends up with the gold and fucks off. So the leprechaun's like counting his gold out. And he's like, a missing coin. I must get the gold. They tricked me. They still have my gold. So then the leprechaun fucking breaks in and attacks them inside the house again. And they're like, what the fuck do you want? We gave you your gold. And he's like, give me all of my gold. I need all of my gold. You have one piece left. And he like hides in the cabinets like a whack-a-mole or something.
I love that.
It rocks. And he's just toying with them. Like, Nathan's like trying to shoot him, but of course he doesn't die. Like nothing can be done. And he's like not even really like he's attacking him, but he's not like hurting him. He's not killing them.
Yeah.
He's just like messing with him. Also feels kind of like the zombies, like the Deadites from Evil Dead a bit too.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it looks kind of like
it does too.
The same makeup.
He's like rolling around on a fucking skateboard and shit. It's great. It's great. And then also there's one point where like Jennifer Aniston grabs a phone and like tries to call like the cops again. And a little baby hand pops out of the receiver and like touches her like mouth.
I like that.
It's great. I'm like, what kind of fucking power is this to have?
What happens when he gets his gold? You can make phones have hands?
You can make collect calls.
Yeah, there
exactly.
you
go. So then they realize that the leprechaun wants to rip Ozzy open so that he can retrieve the last piece of gold inside of his stomach. And they need to not have that happen because we all love Ozzy.
Yeah.
We're all a big Ozzy fan.
We love Ozzy here. We love fix his brain, not rip his stomach. We gotta fix his
brain. Not rip his stomach up. So they're like, what are we going to do? And they're like, well, we got to talk to old man Grady. And they're like,
man Grady. Why does that name sound familiar? Why did I forget? Why did I forget fucking
Old Grady. Old Mr. O'Grady. You don't know who old Grady
is? The dead guy. How do you talk to him?
He's not dead. He's in a retirement home.
Oh, because he didn't die. He just had a heart attack.
Yeah,
okay.
he's not dead. He's in a rest home. And so they're like, all right, let's go to the rest home. I'm like, how do you
what a
get there? The
twist.
fucking car's fucked up. And then so Jennifer Aniston jumps in the Jeep and goes driving to the rest home, basically.
But they all forgot about that Jeep.
I was like, what the fuck happened to the Jeep? Yeah, so I was like, all right. So she jumps in the Jeep. And in order to distract the leprechaun, they just throw shoes at him. So he like cleans them and fixes them, basically.
That's really funny.
It's very funny. And I'm like, oh, that's a really good way of distracting him. You're going to have to you're going to run out of shoes after a while.
You keep dirtying them. You just put them in the
I guess so.
Just put them in the dirt.
So then, but I'm like, so what's going to happen? And then, so she's driving the Jeep. And all of a sudden, the leprechaun just transports himself behind the Jeep on roller skates.
Sure.
And he's like roller skating behind the Jeep like Marty McFly.
Uh-huh.
And then the Jeep takes a turn and the leprechaun can't hold on and he goes, ah! And he like runs into fence and he runs through the fence and there's like an outline of the leprechaun in the fence.
The leprechaun like outline in the fence.
You got a leprechaun in the outline, yeah. And then he pops out of the fence. He's like, oh, and then he just skates to follow. But I'm like, you can transport. Why don't you just transport to where she's going or in the car? But he's not trying to kill her. He's just trying to fuck with her.
He's fucking with her, man.
So she arrives at the rest home.
But she doesn't have the gold though. So why does he care?
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing really.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
So she arrives at the rest home. Security is lax. So she can easily find the room that O'Grady's in. And she goes into O'Grady's room and he's facing away from her. And she's like, I need help. And he's like, oh, I'll tell you how to get rid of the leprechaun.
No, it's him.
It's of course the leprechaun, right? And then he's in like a wheelchair and the wheelchair turns around. It's the leprechaun wearing like a wig and like his shirt or whatever. And he's like, I'll never tell you how to kill me. And she's like, ah! And she runs away. And the leprechaun in the wheelchair just rolls down the hallway and like chasing after her. And I'm like, what is this movie? You know?
What are we doing here?
It's the best. It truly is.
It's chaos.
This is great. Like the leprechaun is just having a blast, just chasing her around. She gets in an elevator and then O'Grady actually that's his name, right? Yeah, Mr. O'Grady pops out the front, like the pop of the alligator.
When you said
the elevator.
O'Grady, it made it sound like it's like like his name was Grady.
Oh no.
O'Grady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
O'Grady.
So I think that's why I was confused.
That's why you were confused.
Yeah,
you didn't forget the man's name. You would never forget anything.
Never forget O'Grady.
No, you definitely wouldn't forget
Especially
the dad
names.
dying or not dying, but getting hurt mortally.
They barely made a deal out of it. He just got his hand bit and then he's gone.
Then he's gone. He's in the
no
hospital.
one seemed that upset about it. So
No, I wasn't. So yeah, O'Grady pops out the top of the elevator. He's hurt. He's gonna die, but he's not dead yet. And she's like, how do I kill a leprechaun? And then he's like, the only way to kill the leprechaun. And I'm sorry, Mr. Leprechaun in the corner, but I'm
giving me my secret away.
I'm sorry, but this is part of the plot.
I want to hear it.
All right. I'll tell you, Mr. Leprechaun. I'm sorry, but you know what? Don't worry. We'll edit out. We'll edit it out of the final episode.
We'll cut this out for
no
sure.
one will hear this. Okay.
This
So the only way to kill a leprechaun is to touch a leprechaun with a 4-leaf clover. If you touch him with a 4-leaf clover, it'll die. It has to be a fresh 4-leaf clover.
Why didn't he fucking do that originally?
I don't know. I don't know.
He literally had him like knocked out for a second, had a 4-leaf clover. Why didn't you just touch him and blew him up?
Yeah, I'd kill him. I don't know. But apparently that's the way to do it. And
Sure.
there's apparently a bunch of clovers right next to the well. So if they go to the well, they can pick a 4-leaf clover from there if they can find one.
Okay.
And just touch the leprechaun.
Yeah.
So then Jennifer Aniston's like, okay. So she drives back home. Leprechaun is chasing, still in a wheelchair. I wrote down, he can transport. Why isn't he transporting back to the farm?
He likes a challenge.
He loves a challenge. So she goes looking for a clover. And then the leprechaun pops up and scares her. And she goes looking for the cops, but the cop is dead. And so she finds the body of the cop that the leprechaun had killed earlier inside of the cop car. So she's like in the cop car and the leprechaun's like, I'm going to get you, dearie. And then the leprechaun, and then she grabs like the cop baton and like stuffs it in the leprechaun's eye. And the leprechaun's like, oh, my eye. And he goes and grabs the fresh eyeball from the cop's eye and puts it in his head.
Oh.
So he apparently can like just switch out body parts at random.
I mean, sure, if his hand can pop off.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a
power.
He's like a Mr. Potato Head or something. So this is and then he's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then Nathan shows up and just shoots the leprechaun, saving Jennifer Aniston. Nathan, Jennifer Aniston, and Ozzy all look for 4-leaf clover while Alex is setting up a trap to kill the leprechaun.
Okay.
And then they find a clover. They actually find a 4-leaf clover. Ozzy's like, you gotta believe that you can find a clover, and Jennifer Aniston's like, Ozzy, you fucking idiot, like, no, you fucking need to fix your brain. There's no way we're gonna find a 4-leaf clover. And then they find it, and he's like, see, it's all about believing.
Dang.
Yeah.
I hope Ozzy doesn't die.
You'll see. So then they find the clover, and they go looking for the leprechaun, and then the leprechaun starts chasing Ozzy, and he's like, you have me gold. I'm gonna get the gold out of you. And he starts just cutting Ozzy up.
Oh,
just
no.
cutting his face up, cutting his stomach up. And then Alex shows up, the little kid, and he has the clover in his hand. And I didn't know this, but apparently Alex is really good with a fucking slingshot.
He did. They did show a scene where he hit Ozzy with the slingshot.
So he takes the clover and he like folds it up and he puts it in the slingshot and he says, "Hey, leprechaun."
Fuck you, Lucky Charms.
And he shoots he shoots the clover into the leprechaun's mouth, and the leprechaun just immediately skeletonizes and melts and falls into the well.
Oh my god.
Dying horribly. But then he's apparently still alive and been replaced by a puppet, an obvious skeleton puppet, like a leprechaun skeleton puppet. And he goes, "I'll never die. I'm gonna get me gold one of these days." And then Nathan shows up, just kicks him down the well, grabs a bunch of gasoline from the back of the Jeep, pours it down the well, and lights it up. And fucking and you just hear the leprechaun burn to death. And then morning comes, and the cops arrive.
So is Ozzy dead?
Ozzy's alive.
Okay.
He's actually alive. And also, everyone says, like, you know what, Ozzy? You are smart in your own way. Yeah.
Good.
And it's like, it's cute. Like, everyone's learned that, Ozzy's a bit weird sometimes, but he's not the dumbest. He's like, just because he's a little slow doesn't mean, like, he's not important, you know? It's really sweet. And yeah, morning comes, Ozzy's alive. Seemingly all of our main characters are alive, and it sounds like including Jennifer Aniston's dad is just, like, in the hospital, I guess. Only O'Grady died, really, I guess. And then...
and his wife.
And then the movie's like ending, and then we hear narration as we see the well on fire. We hear the leprechaun saying, "I'll be back. Once I break the spell, I'll be back." And then the credits roll. And that's
he was back.
The end of the Leprechaun. Number 1.
Wow, what'd you think, Mike?
I loved it.
You really liked it?
I really enjoyed it. I had a blast.
I thought it was okay, but you explaining the ending makes me like it more because in the beginning it was a little slow. It was a little slow, not a lot going on. I didn't know what they were going to do with any of these characters, if they were going to pay off in the right way.
Yeah.
I was really worried they weren't. It sounds like they all kind of did. Like, I was worried Jennifer Aniston would just be like a little lame lady the whole time.
No, she did
kicked
everything
ass.
Basically.
Ozzy, I feel like they're gonna be like, his brain's messed up, he's dumb.
Yeah,
they
he's useless.
They
He might have to
actually
die.
figured it out a little bit later.
No,
It's like,
he
no,
lives.
he's cool.
It's really weird how low the body count is. I think that's also why they threw the cop in there. Is like they need to just kill somebody.
Someone needs to
else.
die.
Yeah,
Eventually, he actually
exactly.
kills people and doesn't just mess with people.
Because like honestly, yeah, if it wasn't for that, like the leprechaun really doesn't hurt like anybody. Like he only really like rips Ozzy open to get the gold, but like he doesn't kill the kid. He doesn't hurt the kid really.
I really like a good killer that has its own like weird lore and rules behind it. It's a simple rule.
It's like he doesn't really even have rules, I guess. He just has one motivator: get gold.
I guess that's true.
Get
my gold back
any way necessary.
Yeah.
And if you are standing in the way, he'll hurt you. But like, I love the part where Jennifer Aniston is like, "Here's your fucking gold," and he's like, "Oh, thanks," and then he just like leaves. And it's like,
that's it.
How easy is that?
All you have to do is not be greedy.
That's like if like fucking Freddy Krueger showed up and he's like, "I want to kill you," and he's like, "Well, how about like $20?" And he's like, "I'll take that," and then he just leaves you alone.
I'll settle.
That's great.
Yeah,
it's super
a great
easy.
way. Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, as long as you're not a fucking greedy asshole and don't want the gold,
yeah,
just give it to him.
Yeah,
it's great.
But O'Grady originally was pretty greedy, so that's what killed him.
Sounds like he's greedy.
Yeah, he didn't even give the gold back. Like the leprechaun kept asking,
yeah.
But he was a stubborn guy and just wanted to
man.
like throw his power around.
He's a boomer.
Yeah, super boomer.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I love how much fun everyone seems to be having. Warwick Davis seems to be having a grand old time in that little leprechaun suit.
I hope that suit's comfortable.
I hope so. I read
the same
up
with like the pinhead.
I read up a little bit about Warwick Davis, and it sounds like due to his like what makes him sort of short is like it's like a physical like issue that actually like hurts him quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it's hard for him to like move around.
I've seen tiptoes. Yeah.
Oh, right. That's right.
They talk about that. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's sort of just, it's like he's moving around so fucking much in this movie and like bouncing around these fucking like heels. I'm like, God damn, that must hurt so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just impressive he's able to do all of this like crazy action, because he does a lot in this movie. He throws shit around. He's like, he's in a wheelchair.
Maybe there's a stunt double, but it doesn't feel like there would be. So
yeah, I don't know. Either way, great. I had a lot of fun. Was not expecting to enjoy the first Leprechaun.
Really?
This much.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I'm surprised how much you liked it. I thought it was fun. I had a good time.
How many leaves should we do? Like
How many
a 4-leaf
clovers?
clover?
How many clovers should we get?
Yeah.
Or how many 4-leaf clovers? Or how many leaves on the clover? Is that what you want to do?
I wanted to do like 4 is the top one.
Okay.
You know, so
I
like
like that.
4 is the
Okay.
top tier shit.
4-leaf clovers?
I'm gonna give this a 4-leaf clover, baby.
Ooh.
Give it 4 leaves.
I'll give it 4 too because I was only iffy on those things. I was like, I don't know where this is going. Is this gonna be good? Is this gonna be bad? What are we doing here? And it seems like it all paid off pretty well.
I think it worked out really well.
For
and
like
it is,
a low ass budget movie.
yeah, it's crazy.
It's so cheesy. It's great.
I loved it. I had a grand old time. I'd recommend it. Check out the Leprechaun movie. It definitely holds up.
I'm glad you like me film.
Of course, Mr.
I'm glad
Leprechaun.
you both did. You too, Ethan. Well, thank you. I picked it. I also, why are you laughing, Mike?
I don't. It's
You
just
like
fun
our
to see you guys
interactions. You like our
interacting with
interactions
each other.
between the two of us. Huh?
I know, it's great. It's just nice to see the two of you just getting
Well,
along.
it's because we're very close in this chair, and it's really funny.
That's
Like he
true.
gets really close. It kind of smells weird. I just my own smell. You'll get used to it by the time we get done here.
I can't wait for you to pop in every episode, Mr. Leprechaun.
Oh, I'm going to be here the whole time.
I can tell.
Absolutely.
I'm looking
You think
forward to
You're
it.
going to get rid of me?
Are
I
you
want to be episodes.
Are you excited to talk about the next movie, Mr. Leprechaun?
Less so.
At least you're honest, Mr. Leprechaun.
Just, there are some things that I'm not proud of.
All right, well,
but,
That's fair. That's fair.
sometimes the truth will set you free.
I'm glad you can be honest. Well, Mr. Leprechaun, I don't know if you listen to our podcast, but you can find it.
I don't.
Okay, well, if you want to, you can find it at any podcasting
Yeah.
app.
Fucked up. He just comes in here with no fucking podcast.
I know. It's
Like,
yeah. I mean, we invited him, right? Or did we not? Or did he intrude?
I think he intruded, dude.
Oh well, I thought you.
I want to be
invited him.
podcasts. I think this is probably going around like you know those people when you like post something like a image online like Twitter or something, and then bots follow you. They're like because you said some like SEO term or something.
He's a
and they're
bot,
like,
is what you're saying.
He's basically a bot. Are you not AI?
But yeah, you can find any of our episodes on any podcast app if you want to listen to our Hellraiser episodes. They're all there. And while you're there, please leave a 5-star rating and review. We will read it in the show no matter what it says, even if it does spawn a leprechaun near you. And if you want to get a hold of us, talk
Can't
to
get
us.
any worse than what we have now.
I know, exactly. And if you want to get a hold of us and talk to us about the Leprechaun episodes, if you're Warwick Davis and you're like, I'd love to come on your podcast and talk to you about playing the Leprechaun, which would be very confusing.
I would love to have a conversation between Warwick Davis and
this
the
Leprechaun?
Leprechaun. It'd be such an amazing time.
I would love that.
Oh, what a great guest.
You can only dream.
You can only dream.
Yeah, you can email us at email@theotherhalfpodcast.com or find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, or Threads. And that's the end of the first Leprechaun movie. Obviously, we know we're going to go to
We
the
gotta watch
second
the
one.
second one. Let's see what it holds for us.
Let's see. Well, let's see what's in store in this pot of gold.
Huh?
Good night, everybody.